This is Geometry Lesson 1-13. We are trying our first time ever with Microsoft Word. We'll see if this works. It looks like my little blue dot does not follow me around.
Could you have the lights?
Yeah, let's do that. Brian, can you hit the lights for us, please?
For 20 HP extra.
Let's go ahead and minimize that. Huh. Okay, well, it's going to be really hard to see. I don't know how to fix that, but we'll work on that. Okay, so a parallelogram. Show your hand if you know how to find the area of a parallelogram. 3 people, 4 people, interesting. 5 people? Let's go ahead and label the base down here. Let's label that B. B for base. And I'm already realizing that I want to change the blue here. B for base. All right, I'm going to label this H for height. All right, so one of those quiet raised hands. Colby, what is the formula for parallelograms?
Formula?
Yeah, if I have a base and a height, what do I do? 1/2 something something, I don't know. No? All right, sorry, I cold on you. Is there anyone that wants to tell us the formula? India.
It would be base times height.
Base times height. It is that easy. Just base times height. But here's the question. Why? I love that question when it comes to math. Why is it base times height? So let me give you your XP before I forget, India. Boom. Why is it base times height? India again, yeah, go for it.
It's base times height because the dashed line, if you move the part on the left this time over to the other side where this line, like you move that over there, it becomes a rectangle, and the rectangle is length times width, but base times height. So that's what you do.
Yeah, so let's look at that. So if I have, oops, I forgot that Word has slightly different properties. But if I go ahead and I view this one with, how do I do this? Oh, it's format. Maybe. I did this in the other one. Is there any way to change the opacity of it? If I double click on this, will it bring up word formatting? All right, see, this is why you're gonna have to bear with me. Fill. No, nothing. Opacity. I just want to make it see-through. Word, please. Okay, I know how to do it with Mac version, but not the Windows version. But yeah, so India is essentially saying this. If I cut off this piece right here, so imagine that I had this, this cropped down. So I was only looking at this part. Okay, mice are hard to use. If I only had this part, I removed this piece and I moved this piece over here, and you could actually see through it. I would essentially have a rectangle. I moved that piece over on the other side. So that's why it basically turns it into a rectangle. You guys already know how to find the area of a rectangle because we saw that in the warm-up. So it's that easy, just make it into a rectangle. Let's try example 1. So this is a Khan Academy problem. See if you can solve this. Now that you know the formula, they gave you extra information that you don't need. What is the area? By the way, your answer, I'll already write this down for us. Our answer, interesting. I learned that property also. Our answer should be units squared, because we don't have units. So how many units squared is this? Go ahead and try it out. You have space to write the correct answer if you make a mistake. How many units squared is this? I want to walk around right now to see if you're doing your work. So you don't need to write the block, you just need to figure out the formula.
Bro, not a whole. Can I go sit somewhere else?
No, you can just stay there for now.
So like, sneeze all over. Yeah, that's what I see.
A lot of people are struggling. quiet raise hand. Did anyone get the process or get the answer aside from India, because she's already been answering the last 2 questions? Sorry, India. Thank you for participating. Did anyone get an answer for this one? Beverly, Chewy, Anna got an answer. No one else got an answer? Beverly, talk to us. 56. How'd you get 56? 7 times 8. Base times height, right? All right, thumbs up, thumbs down. Agree with 56. I think we don't know enough about these to even have a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Sadly, 56 is incorrect, but you still get your XP. All right, so let me show us how to do this one. The base here, they rotated the base. The base here is 3. If this length is 3, this length over here is also 3. Label that now. This length here is 3. They rotated this to try to trick us. I should always be looking for where there's a 90-degree angle. This length right here is perpendicular to this line here. So this line and this line are perpendicular. Because of that, I'm going to multiply those 2 lengths. This length that was perpendicular to this length. 3 is perpendicular to 7, so I multiply those perpendicular lengths. 3 times 7 is 21. There's our final answer, 21 units squared. So the key here, if I had to do a key, and I can go over here and I can change to red, if you want to star this, is this. Multiply, whoa. Why did it, that's interesting. Because it moved everything up. I don't know why it did that. So the star here is this. Multiply, and I'm just going to abbreviate MULT, multiply the perpendicular lengths. Perpendicular lengths. If you don't like the word perp, maybe you can even do this symbol. If you multiply the perpendicular lengths, you will always get the correct answer, as long as it's a parallelogram.
Parallelogram?
All right, let's look at triangles then. All right, so this is something I think we've learned probably since 6th or 7th grade, hopefully. What is the formula for a triangle if I have base times height? Base and height. I should not do the formula for us. Anna, talk to us.
1/2 base times height.
1/2 base times height. Yeah, I agree. Anna. It sounds like people might be trying to talk over me. They might be losing HP. Base times height. Why, though, is it base times height? Just because Mr. Sindel told you, because your teachers have been telling you and you have memorized it. That's an okay reason, but that is the thing that causes people to just believe that the world is flat, to believe that these things aren't maybe necessarily true. India. Thank you. India.
It's base times height because right triangles are half of a square, and square is a rectangle, and rectangle is like times width, base times height.
Okay, yeah, you said it a little bit incorrectly. I'm just going to correct you a little bit. It's never, sometimes it's a square, but hardly ever. So look at this triangle shape right here, and don't write this down, but look at this shape right here.
That's a straight line.
That triangle right there. If I were to rotate that triangle to right there, I have a rectangle. So essentially what I've... why does it do that?
You liking this new program, buddy?
I'm learning. So essentially what I have is a triangle right there. I can rotate this triangle on the left also, and it becomes a rectangle. The rectangle is base times height, but we have half of that. Half of this half of this half, and it's half of the entire object. It's 1/2 base, and it undid times height. What about for this triangle? If I have, go ahead and write this down in blue now. What if I have base here and height here? The height always has to be a 90-degree angle from the base. Does that one have a different formula? What do you guys think? Everyone do a thumbs up or thumbs down. If everyone is voting, you all get 10 XP. Thumbs up or thumbs down? What do you guess?
Same thing as triangle.
Is it the same formula? Yes, thumbs up, or is it a different formula? Thumbs down. Interesting, yeah. So All of you guys get 10 XP. Oops.
What was it? Is it the same one?
It is the same one.
Well, it's in the category of triangles, so you can.
It is in the category of triangles. You only need to memorize one formula. But why? And this one is really hard to understand. Here's the answer. So if I grab this, and I wish I could make things see-through. I wish I could change the opacity. But if I grab this guy, and I paste it over here, if I were to... Come on now. What are you doing? If I were to rotate this 180 degrees, and there has to be a way to make it see-through, and I were to put it on top of one another, it would make the following shape. Language. It would make the following shape. What shape is this now? This outside shape. Quiet raise hand if you have an answer. What is this outside shape without this diagonal line through the center? Look at the top of your paper. What is that shape?
UC Davis.
Martine.
Parallelogram.
It's a parallelogram. We know the area of a parallelogram. The area of a parallelogram is base times height. The trouble is we have twice of the area because we have twice the shape. So I need to do base times height divided by 2. You get the same formula. So that's the rationale behind this shape. Again, just 1/2 base times height. And before I move on, Martine.
Mr. Sundar, are you excited for the Yosemite trip?
We mean for the... We did that already. It was an exciting trip, if that is what you're asking. All right, let's try an example. Example 2. I gave you extra information. Khan Academy will sometimes give you extra information. What is the area of this triangle? Make sure that your answer is in units squared. How many units squared is this triangle? Go ahead and do this now. All right, looks like either people are done or they don't know. Quiet raised hand. What's the answer for XP? India's ready to go. Chewy. 5. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you guys agree or disagree? If you all do thumbs up or thumbs down, you get the 10 XP.
I don't know.
Some people didn't do it. All right, it is 5. This is why. The base here is the part that's perpendicular to the height. So the base is 2. The height was 5. So 2 times 5 is 10. So I do 10 times 1/2, and I get 5.
I got 10.
You got 10, so you forgot to divide by 2? Okay. Yeah, so always make sure that the base is perpendicular to the height, and then you should get the correct answer. Should, yep. Let's go down here. Back side of the page. Trapezoids. All right, so for trapezoids, there's always a trick involving duplicating shapes and rotating shapes to find their formula. So here's the formula for a rectangle. If I were to copy this, paste this, and rotate this 180 degrees. Oh, going too fast. Rotate this 180 degrees and put this on top of one another. This is the following shape that I get. Okay, that's not the shape that you get. Let me try this again. I can draw. Here we go. Trying this again. There it is. Draw this on your own paper.
No.
We took that same trapezoid, we copied it, we pasted it, we flipped it upside down, and we got this shape. So if this length AB was our base, this length CD, oh, that's also a base. So let's call this base 1. Let's call this length DC base 2. Let's call this perpendicular length up here the height. Label this rotated shape with these B2s and B1s. Where does B1 go? Where does B2 go? So I have B1 and B2. Where do B1 and B2 go on the right hand side? All right, this is pretty easy. You give me some XP. Who wants to answer this one? The same 3 people that have already answered. Yeah, Jaden.
You just flop it.
Flop it. So this up here is
B1,
B1,
B2.
B2. Easy XP. All right, so we're going to derive the formula here. It's going to be quick and easy, I promise. So now this entire length here is our new base. Remember, when we went back to the front side of our piece of paper, the formula for finding this parallelogram was just base times height. But the base was this entire thing. Let's get rid of this. This base was in the entire length here. So to find the entire length down here, we need to add B1 and B2. So our new base is B1 plus B2. So we're going to write that down. We're going to write down here, B1 plus B2. That represents the entire base. All right, you two just lost HP.
You never gave me my XP though last time.
Did I not?
No.
I'll give you your XP then. Thank you for reminding me.
So that's a teacher error right there.
I'm not going to consider that a teacher error.
Uh-huh.
All right, so that's our entire base. What do we need to multiply these two things by?
The height.
By the height. Okay, what we've done here is we found the entire area of this new shape. But there's a problem. We don't want the entire area of this new shape. We want just the original shape. What do we need to do to all of this area? Quiet raised hand. It's the same thing that we're doing with triangles. Anna. Divided by 2. Because we have twice the area, because we have twice the shapes. If we divide that by 2, now we're left with the original shape. So here's our formula for trapezoids. You add B1 and B2, you multiply it by the h, and then you divide it by 2. Divide by the height. Multiply by the height. Last example, and then we're done with the notes. This is a trapezoid, obviously, because I have 2 parallel lines. I have 5 and 7 that are not the same, therefore it's not a parallelogram. It is a trapezoid. Find the area. Just use the formula. See if you can plug into the formula. I'm going to be walking around to see if you can do this. Make sure you include your units. Make sure you box your final answer. For example 3, you don't need to redraw the picture to make it a parallelogram if you don't want. All you need to do is to find the answer using the formula. If you can't remember the formula and you just want to redraw that picture over and over again, that's fine too. It makes me really happy to see students that are redrawing that picture because it lets me know that you know how that formula was derived. I see about 4 students that are still working. All right, I want to get through this so that you have time for Khan Academy, so that's why I'm going fast. I apologize. I want to make sure you have time to practice.
No, you add those. You add those. And then you get 30.
I have no idea.
And then you divide it. Yeah.
I got 15.
All right, there are a few people that are getting XP there for helping their neighbor. Thank you for doing that. All right, I need someone to not tell me the answer, but to tell me the process. What did you do? What were your steps? Sam.
I added 5 plus 7.
5 plus 7.
And then I multiplied 2.
Multiplied.
I multiplied 3.
Multiplied all that by 3.
Yeah, and then I got 36.
That was equal to 36. Okay?
I divided by 2.
And then you did 36. Why did you divide by 2?
You're supposed to divide by 2.
Ah, because it's there it is, yeah, in the formula. Okay, good.
And then I got 18 units squared.
So this is going to be equal to 18 units. Did you box your answer?
Yes.
Oh man, you got it perfect then. Yeah, that's the answer. 18 units squared. Yeah, good job. All right, are there questions about this lesson?
I give it the answer.
All right, I gave you a place to write your summary at the very bottom. Go ahead and write your summary now. Anyone want to say hello or goodbye to Ellery? She was, and she left. Bye, Ellery.